So, is everybody having a good convention? I just wanted to clear something up because there are a few people before who are trying to take photographs, and I don't mind this at all. I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, talk to the hand. I'm really not. It was just that recently I've started, when people take photographs and like in close quarters, getting people to donate money to charity. But the event here wouldn't let me do that. And so, for all the people who'd like paid money in Atlanta and then in Burbank beforehand, it seemed unfair that like you guys could have done that, and it didn't go to charity. So I just wanted to kind of clear that up for everybody who, because it looked like I was one of those people like, oh God, no photographs.
What's the charity?
It's a different charity in every city, so and nearly always for child relief on some scale. So raise money for Child Relief India and local children's charity in Atlanta, and it would have been children's charity in Toronto. And from my fee anyway, there will be money to a children's charity here. So I haven't really been on a podium by myself. I'm normally surrounded by members of the cast, and like you can field off several things. Like I don't really have anything specific to say about the show. So, you'd like me to ask? In that sense of, normally it's kind of, I like to have questions, I suppose, if people want to ask them, and hopefully I can answer them. So, hi. For everybody here, that was, how did I get the job? It's a total mystery to me, actually. I rolled up, I've been working in England for several years, and I'd always heard about this strange phenomena in America called pilot season. In England we don't have pilots, in the sense of, there's just not enough money and the country's too small. Like, if you make a program, the program's going to be made and it is going to be aired. But in the States, they make hundreds of programs that never see the light of day. And I recently got a manager and he was like, come out to Los Angeles rather than send me a tape all the time. People might get to meet you. So I came up and I found that he was like, Battlestar Galactica. Obviously I'd seen the original. I was like, who do they want me to be? Apollo, obviously, definitely. And he was like, no, that's already cast. It's gone to a friend of yours. I was like, bastard. And I said, well, who? Because he went, oh, it's a great character, it's a great thing, blah, blah, it's Baltar. It's like, me? I couldn't quite believe it. And he was like, no, you can kind of make this thing any way you want it. The joke was that I actually arrived to audition on the wrong day, when they'd actually closed, like it was already finished. And that was my fault, because I thought I had a meeting on Tuesday when it was on Monday. So I rolled in thinking, at my 11 o'clock meeting, you know, here I am. And there were these people like, who are you? And what are you doing here? And anyway, they let me read. And I think essentially I brought something different to the party than everybody else was trying to do. I think everybody else probably was trying to, live up to being evil and whatever, and I really wasn't at all. And the scene that I had to audition was the scene where, in the mini-series, where I'm in bed with one beautiful girl and then my girlfriend walks in on me. And from then you have like one audition, and then the process is, it's tough. They really want to be sure that they've got the right chemistry between people. And I maybe had like 5 or 6 meetings and keep on going back. And it's like, what do I have to do? I've done it already, but oh no, so-and-so needs to see you and somebody else in New York. So there were about, by the time you go to this big place in the Valley, Universal Studios, or the Universal Building, there were about 5 or 6 Baltars, and there were about 5 or 6 Sixes auditioning. And I remember being in the room and like this, not Trisha, but this very beautiful girl walked in, and I wanted to kind of go, oh man, just say, hey, you're very lovely looking. And as I was about to kind of say this thing, another beautiful girl walked in. I was like, I'm going to be saying this all day. So I actually didn't say anything at all. it's rather brutal, the auditioning process, because maybe like Survivor or Pop Idol, you're in this room, you can see all the other people with you, and then somebody just comes out after you've gone in to sit in front of the executives and taps you on the shoulder and in front of everyone else goes, it's not going to go any further today, you can go home. That's like, ouch, looking at people who kind of then pack their bags and then leave. I went into a room with like 20 people, all with like clipboards. I'm like, who are they? I thought I did really a pretty shoddy audition with Trisha. She was sat in a chair next to me, and we weren't allowed to look at each other because they had a camera here, and they were like, no, we need the front face because this tape's going to New York, which basically made it like acting in a straitjacket. And I remember thinking, this is not going well, but I heard some voice while we were doing the audition, some voice in the back went, oh yes. And I had to wait like another 7 hours. I was staying with a friend in Los Angeles, and by the time I actually got the phone call, it was like, I don't even know if I want to do this right now. I'm like so exhausted, and then found myself in Vancouver, which was a first, and that was part of the process. Okay, next question.
Mine is actually kind of two parts. First is, now that we kind of know that there's a guy who sticks his head as well, do you have any favorite theories you've heard or particular theories you'd like as to why that is? And the second part is, how did you as an actor approach playing that second version of Gaius differently than the one in the last guy?
Did you all get a question? The question was, what's my theory or my favorite theory on how I can see number 6 in my head? And the second part of the question is, when I was playing Baltar in her head, how did I approach that? I started to read some physics books. There's an interesting book by a guy called, I think it's Michio Kaku. It's called Parallel Worlds or Universes. It's got this, I like to think that kind of she's there in kind of a different reality, a different universe that I'm kind of in touch with. And when you read some of these physics books, it's not so science fiction. Apparently, like, there are parallel universes, perhaps, all around us, just slightly beyond the tangibility of our grip. And rather than kind of a mind meld or anything, it's like they do exist, just kind of slightly beyond the frame of reference that everybody else can see. So that's my particular theory. I'm sure it's wrong. As I approached the second one, well, it was just like, finally this guy's got his shit together. The guy who's in her head. I don't have to be worried and nervous and scampering about for my own life. It's essentially like he's got his balls back. And that was about the only note I gave to myself.